Thank you for staying with Republic. And we cut across to breaking news coming in. Now, sources say that insurgent groups trained in Myanmar suspected to be behind drone bomb dropping. Manipur police sources have said that around 50 crude bombs were dropped between 2 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. on Sunday, and that the KNF suspected to be behind this attack is what we've learned from our sources. Republic will show you videos showing how drones were used by Kuki insurgents to carry out these attacks and bombing that happened between 2 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. reportedly on Sunday. Let me cut across to Anirudh, who joins us live, getting us more details on what we've gathered so far. Anirudh, of course, the biggest question that Republic asks, is there a foreign hand at play? But before that, do tell us what had happened on Sunday and how drones were seen in Imphal that were used to carry out these attacks.
Yes, it's a major. It's a major concern for everyone because in Imphal West, drones were used to drop bombs in the villages. Right now, we are in Koktruk village, and we are in the very house that we are now showing on our television screen. You can see the roof of the house. If we can get a close view of the roof, then you can see how the bombs that were dropped through the drones have penetrated and fell into this house. At least more than 6 to 7 houses in this area have suffered heavy damages because of the bombs that were thrown in the villages by drones. Even as we report now, we are getting in inputs that in another localities, just a few kilometers away from Koktruk, again today also drones are being used to deploy bombs in the villages. Most of the villages have already abandoned their villages and have taken safe refuge in nearby relief camps in this area. Now, with the drones being deployed, many serious questions have been raised as how they have got access to these highly capable drones, and is there a foreign hand behind this? Inputs that we have received from top sources in the police have also confirmed that...
I'm sorry I'm having to interrupt you here, but I also want to cut across to Shavan with the same question. As Shavan, we stay with these pictures, but you must explain to our viewers in greater detail to what has been happening with regards to this attack. Several questions that emerge as to how they are garnering and gathering so much ammunition, from where it is coming, who is helping these Kuki insurgents, and what exactly do police sources reveal as far as this attack is concerned?
Well, in fact, Suesha, the list of the ammunition that has been dropped so far, this after the searches that were carried out by the Manipur police, this is the entire list of ammunition that has been recovered by the Manipur police from the searches that have been carried out from various districts. Now, I'll just take you through some of the places from where the searches were carried out and look at the kind of ammunition that has been recovered. And then, of course, we'll also take our viewers through the latest details in terms of why exactly the foreign hand is being looked into. Now, from the Saivom village forest in Tengopal district, they have recovered about 51 mortars. You have about 12 improvised IEDs that have been recovered by the Manipur police, and this list actually continues. You're looking at 50 crude bombs, roughly about 50 crude bombs that were dropped between 2 o'clock in the afternoon and about 8:30 in the evening. We are being told that gelatin sticks have already been recovered by the Manipur police. They've in fact called in the forensic experts to look into the nature of the explosive. But if you look at of the ammunition that has been recovered, it only goes on to indicate that it's only a trained militia that has been behind the attacks that have been carried out. So whether at all this is only about an ethnic violence or it has a suspected foreign hand, that is something that the Manipur police is certainly looking into. Now, let me just also take you through some more details in terms of the ammunition, and the reason why I'm stressing much on the ammunition is only because from multiple locations, these ammunitions that have been recovered, it only goes on to indicate that there was a larger plan at place. Now, Pompi bombs, which Anirudh was basically pointing at, in fact, we could actually go across to Anirudh, who's live from the very spot where the bombs were actually dropped. And some bombs, we are told, have exploded, some haven't, because remember the modus operandi that has been used and why it is a cause of concern at this stage is because the drones that have been used, they were carrying crude bombs. They exploded after an impact. So once the bombs have been dropped, because of the impact, the explosion actually takes place. So this is essentially an impact-driven bombs that were largely used by the Kuki insurgent group, and the KNF is suspected to be behind it. However, no group in particular has taken responsibility for the attacks that were basically carried out. But the police as well as the intelligence sources are basically indicating that the KNF could be actually behind it. Remember, back in the month of April and May, there was roughly about 150 people from the insurgent groups who had crossed over to Myanmar, and they had received training from the PDF as well as the Chin National Army. And this entire training that has taken place by crossing over to Myanmar is the reason why the Manipur police also believes that there is a larger training camp that has been established from where they have been given this sophisticated training. Manipur police has actually come on record to say that they are highly trained. In fact, they have also received expertise in using various technological advancements, and that is the reason why they've been able to carry out this kind of an attack. Now, this is undoubtedly a major escalation that you're looking at right now in Manipur, with certainly Meitei villages being targeted by the Kuki insurgents.
Please do stay on as we just put out the details that you mentioned on how these Kuki insurgents had crossed over to Myanmar in March and April, trained terrorists of Kuki National Organization who were also a part of the training, and around 150 who were trained during this period. Now, Shravan, you have told us about this briefly, but do detail for us how the training was given by People's Defence Force and Chin National Front, which led to them becoming experts to be able to carry out such an attack.
Well, as far as Suesha, I couldn't, perhaps comprehend your question right now because there's a problem with the audio line. But just to answer your question with regards to the number of people who have actually received the training and how the Chin National Army is suspected to be behind the training along with the PDF, the rebel forces in Myanmar. Remember, there is also a Bangladesh link that has emerged, especially of the KNF, because they are looking at how the KNF has largely been trained in Myanmar, and they have basically crossed over, and the kind of attack that has been carried out with the kind of ammunition that has been dropped, it could not have been possible without some sort of a militant group, the kind of training that they have received across the border, without which this kind of an attack could not have been carried out.
Oh yes, absolutely, Shravan. And we continue to now break further details. This is the fourth breaking that we put out for our viewers on this big story. Let's quickly go across to it. We've learnt that foreign funding that is under the scanner, Manipur government is suspecting World Kuki Zoo Intellectual Council that was being funded by organizations based in the US and UK, and government investigation that has revealed that this organization had issued a release asking the Kuki Zoo community to equip themselves with arms and ammunition. Shravan, I want to come back to you on this particular point with regards to the funding and the foreign hand at play.
Well, in fact, there is one particular group based out of Imphal and also has various offices in UK as well as US. A case has already been registered by the Manipur police. This case was registered just about a month ago before the Manipur government actually decided to ban them. It turns out from the investigation that has been carried out by the Manipur government and Manipur police in particular is the fact that the Kuki Zoo Intellectual Council has been receiving funds from United Kingdom as well as United States of America, and this is what the Manipur government believes, because based on which they've carried out the action of banning the World Kuki Intellectual Council and they believe that certain frontal organizations based out of UK as well as US was funding them. In fact, there was a release that was issued by this council targeting certain communities in Manipur, telling them that they need to be armed because a war is impending. So essentially, they were the ones who were trying to provoke the Kukis as well as the Meiteis.